Let's flash back. Dateline, New York City, November 8th, 2016. Election night. Let's go to CNN.
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency.
Soon after, the headlines and news anchors screamed, Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election to tilt it to Mr. Trump.
The Russians definitively hacked the election.
Russia did hack the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear, Russia hacked the election.
Those news anchors sure seemed certain, didn't they? They were wrong. I'll show you the recently declassified evidence. It reveals the Russia hacked the election claim was a giant hoax cooked up at the White House. These are the documents that tell the real story of deceit and deception by President Obama's top spy masters, CIA Director John Brennan and FBI Director Jim Comey. Brennan and Comey knowingly used junk intelligence. What's that? It's uncorroborated second and third-hand information from unreliable or unknown sources. How did the directors of the CIA and FBI know it was junk? Their underlings told them so, but Brennan and Comey used it anyway. Obama's Spies and Lies, the junk intel scandal Declassified, details the White House con designed to smear President-elect Trump and sabotage his administration. Hundreds of pages of recently declassified documents reveal the truth. They answer key questions such as, did the Russians really hack the election? No, they didn't. But when discussing hacking, let's be more specific. Was there intel that Russian cyber attacks changed votes or vote totals? No. Was there intel that Russian cyber attacks ever tried to change votes or vote totals? No. Was there intel that Russian President Putin preferred Trump over Clinton? No. Was there intel that Russian President Putin tried to help Trump win the election? No. How did the media get the story so wrong? U.S. intelligence agencies lied to them and everyone else. But reporters failed to ask the right questions. They also failed to exercise a professional level of skepticism. Instead, they swallowed whole the lies and leaks fed to them by unnamed sources from Obama's spy masters. Here's how it worked. Dateline, Washington, D.C., December 9, 2016. The CIA is the source for this Washington Post story. The headline, Secret CIA assessment says Russia was trying to help Trump win the White House. The Post story was based on, quote, the CIA presentation to senators. It's CIA Director John Brennan's preview of an upcoming report for President Obama. Dateline, January 5th, 2017. The president receives the new intel report written by Brennan's CIA, along with the FBI, NSA, and ODNI, the Director of National Intelligence. The report is known as the Intelligence Community Assessment. Its title, Assessing Russian Activities and Intentions in Recent U.S. Elections. The report assesses that Russian President Putin developed a clear preference for President-elect Donald Trump, that Putin aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances, and that there was a Russian plan to help Trump to victory. But could President Obama's spy masters be trusted with telling the truth? No. That's the finding in this report by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Its investigation found the intelligence community assessment of the 2016 election was based on junk intelligence. The House Intel Report, a 45-page document, was written by the Republican majority in September 2020. Unfortunately, it was locked in a vault at the CIA, classified and hidden from public view for nearly 5 years. The committee's report was recently declassified by Tulsi Gabbard, the current Director of National Intelligence, who briefed reporters at the White House on July 23, 2025.
I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence Report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people.
What's Putin thinking? U.S. intel agencies are always trying to figure that out. There wasn't any good intel that indicated Putin preferred Trump or aspired to help him win. So where did those assessments come from? The judgments were based on 3 junk CIA intel reports. Each of these had been rejected by senior CIA officers during the campaign, but all were approved by CIA Director John Brennan.
Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious, substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump.
2 senior CIA officers told Brennan the intel was junk. He ordered them to use it anyway.
The Intelligence Committee's oversight report reveals that CIA Director Brennan overruled senior CIA officers who challenged the Obama-ordered intelligence assessment, stating, quote, "We don't have direct information that Putin wanted to get Trump elected."
Obama's Spies and Lies, the junk intel scandal Declassified, is the story of a political hit job. Quite simply, the outgoing administration sabotaged the incoming president and his team. Obama's spy masters clamped a chokehold on the Trump administration's ability to carry out its agenda.
When you look at the intent behind creating a fake manufactured intelligence document that directly contradicts multiple assessments that were created by the intelligence community, the expressed intent and what followed afterward can only be described as a years-long coup and a treasonous conspiracy against the American people, our republic, and an attempt to undermine President Trump's administration.
Obama's top spy masters used junk intelligence, suppressed good intel, cherry-picked information that supported their view, and ignored intel that didn't. They knowingly broke all the rules for intelligence analysis. I'll have the details in upcoming reports. I'm John Spiropoulos. Thanks for watching.